Hi everyone, it's JoJo Bennington. It's Thursday night and it is the time for our 30-minute Empowering Healthy Women little girl time. Normally we would all be in our little comfy slippers with our hot tea and chilling out, and so a lot of us are floating around in a hotel room, and lots of people are traveling right now, so we're just going to hop on and record and roll with it. So I am in Phoenix right now, as is Liddy and Mona. We are all here for our company's, one of our company's big events. And so, you know, every week we do this to just kind of have some 30-minute girl time check-in, talk about things that are important to us. You know, guys don't always care about what's important to us, so it's good for us to get together and have a little girl time, and little estrogen fest is always good, right? So before we really get started, I don't know how many of you saw what I posted, but I'm going to hop over, and I want to read it because it was so powerful and profound to me that I wanted to share it. I posted it on my wall, and then I've just been thinking about it in a lot of different ways. So we could have a conversation about it. You guys could ponder it. I just want to share. Sometimes I just find an analogy to me that makes so much sense and gives me such a good visual that I can't stop thinking about it. And then I go on to create a whole theory around it. So here's the story, and here's how it goes. So you're holding a cup of coffee when someone comes along and bumps into you or shakes your arm, making you spill your coffee everywhere. Why did you spill the coffee? Well, because someone bumped into me, of course, but that's the wrong answer. You spilled the coffee because there was coffee in your cup. Had there been tea in your cup, you would have spilled the tea. Whatever is inside the cup is what spills out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you or me, which will happen, whatever is inside will come out. It's easy to fake it until you get rattled. So we have to ask ourselves, what's in my cup? When life gets tough, what spills over? Is it joy and gratitude, peace and humility? Or is it anger and bitterness and harsh words and reactions? And each time we get to choose, but if we look forward to filling our cups with gratitude, forgiveness, and joy, and words of affirmation and kindness and gentleness for others, then that's what will get used to spilling out. And so that was just so profound for me that I started to think about all of the ways that we carry things inside of us. And so is our cup full in a different way for each person that's around us? So can somebody shake my arm and what comes out is love and gratitude, and the next person could come along and shake my arm and what comes out could be something completely different. So it was just a thought of it's a word I use a lot, which is congruency. And are we the same with hubby as we are with the kids, as we are with our business partners, as we are with the doctor, as we are with the girl in the corner, as we are with the checkout person, or we are with the janitor? Are we the same person all of the time? And being congruent is something that I learned from one of my mentors, David Wood, of whoever you are on stage is who you are in the hallway, is who you are with every single person that's around you. And it's been a good learning lesson for me to keep paying attention to the places that I'm not congruent. And so the cup of coffee analogy to me was just another level of where is your congruency, and is it intact? And so if that's what's spilling out is joy and gratitude when you're shaken, and that's what's there when you're in a good space as well as in a bad space, then I think that our congruency is in line. And that feels good to me. It's not always reality, that just made me even one more step aware of what we do. And part of congruency, and I just want to give a shout out to our beautiful friend Mona, who has spent the last year not only being in congruency with everything that she's put into her life, but commitment and consistency and persistence and all of the things that go into all of those little pieces of the puzzle. And she's just completed a whole entire year of running every single day. And so some people might go, okay, so big deal, somebody ran every single day. But what it was the consistent action that she took every single day. It wasn't necessarily that was run. It could have been anything that she chose. It was just the run that she chose to be her action step. And so just she offered to step up and talk tonight as we were kind of chatting about what to share this evening. And so she's just coming off of her, I don't know how many numberth Disney marathon run. And she does, are they goofy runs or dopey runs, or there's something like that, right? So can you just share with us a little bit about what you've learned this year about being congruent and really committed and consistent?
First of all, it's so fun seeing you in real life today, JoJo. So I'm like just so excited to be in the same town as you, and so honored that you asked me if I would help you in our attempt to be as consistent as possible, consistent to help each other out, consistent in helping ourselves, like showing up on these Thursdays, just to carve out a few minutes of time in our very busy weeks to realize that our time matters and our time to ourselves matter. And I think that was the takeaway that I got from my 365-day year streak, in that when I started it, it was truly a run streak. It was about running every single day. And there's these weird rules that runners have with run streaks. What I realized that on January 1st, when I didn't have to do it anymore, that it wasn't a run streak that I had just finished. It was a self-care. It was a consistency. It was a filling of my cup. And it took me probably 60 to 100 days to realize it wasn't just about running. And then probably days 100 to 200, it had nothing to do with the run. And then from 200 to 365, it's where I started to like dig really deep. And it wasn't that it got more challenging. It was that I found that I was getting better at so many other things in my life. I was getting better at taking care of people. I was getting more patient. I was getting more authentic. I was getting more kind, and I was more peaceful. And I was just showing up to life a better human being. And it, once again, had nothing to do with the run. Like I just happened to be running every day. So on January the 1st, when I didn't have to run, I actually did. I ran to the coffee shop because I wanted coffee. And that was just the fastest way to get there. So I ran on a 2-mile run, got coffee, hung out with my husband and my dog. But then on January 2nd, I didn't go run. And I realized that running wasn't the habit. Because like I get out of bed and I brush my teeth. That's a habit. I got out of bed, brushed my teeth, and knew that I needed to move my body. And I needed to move my body at least 10 minutes. And it could be 10 minutes of yoga flow. It could be a 10-minute walk. It wasn't a 10-minute run. It could be 10 minutes of something that was my gift to me, so that I could give 23 hours and 50 minutes to the world. And that gift to the world is a better me, a happier me, a more patient me, a more authentic me, a more genuine me, a more consistent human being. And so as we show up to these Thursday Empowering Women calls, or as we show up to doing something other than brushing our teeth, the more consistent that we are in filling our own cup, the better equipped we are to have something of quality in that cup when someone shakes us. And when someone shakes us, they're excited to see us. And we spill a little bit of happiness because we're excited to see them back. Like that's so easy. When someone shakes us because our world is crumbling, because something awful is happening, to someone we love, to ourselves? Like, are we still able to bring something of value to the situation? And the only way you really can bring something of value is if you've got some personal value. And so whether it be 10 minutes of self-care in a special way, of moving your body, of meditating, of affirmations, of yoga flow, of walking, of reading, of something that's just for you, then you're going to be super equipped to have something of value when that real shakeup that's not a good shakeup happens, because it's going to happen. And it could happen tonight. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in a year. It could happen in 10 years. But the more that you have prepared yourself to be the best that you can be by giving yourself just a little bit of time, the more equipped you're going to be to take care of everybody else when they're all falling apart, because it has hit the fan in whatever it may be. So, I commend anyone that sits in on these calls. I commend anyone that takes time to come back and listen to these calls. I commend anyone that's meditating, doing affirmations, reading, listening to podcasts, moving their bodies, putting the right things in their body, because you are going to be the rock when the shakeup happens. So whether there be shakeup because your girlfriend just saw you and you haven't seen her in a decade, like when I saw JoJo today, I was so excited and I shook her and I had lots to give to her because I'm in a good space and she's in a good space. And so we're shaking each other with all sorts of good stuff because it's easy. Or when the shakeup happens because something devastating has happened, where's your cup? What is it filled with? And when I brush my teeth every morning, I'm not brushing my teeth for anyone else. So I brush my teeth and I take time to brush my teeth and I don't feel guilty about brushing my teeth. Why am I going to feel guilty about going on a 10-minute walk and enjoying some fresh air? I'm taking care of my teeth because I need my teeth. I'm taking care of my body and my soul and my heart because I need my body and my soul and my heart. So once we can start removing away some of those little pieces of guilt for taking care of ourselves, the better equipped we're going to be to take care of other people. And that's what I learned from my run streak. I didn't learn anything about running. I learned how to carve out anywhere from 10 minutes to 7 hours, because there were some days I was moving my body for 7 hours because not every marathon is a beautiful, smooth marathon that you see on, television, those New York City marathoners. Some of those marathons are really ugly. And some of those are the best ones because, boy, you figure out that you had fuel in you that you didn't know you had. And because you worked up to that place, because you filled your cup every day, you put a little bit of good stuff into that cup. So, JoJo, I thank you for hosting a call, even though everyone's traveling. People don't even know it's Thursday. People are NYKO. People aren't even sure if you're doing this because they know you're at NYKO. But you said, you know what? We have to fill our cups, and you show up every Thursday. So thank you, JoJo. And thank you for giving me a couple of minutes to talk about what I figured out over the past year about filling up my own cup.
Well, thank you, Mona. And, it's funny because for me, the right person always shows up in my space to say what I need to hear. And I said, perhaps it wasn't the smartest thing to plan the call tonight. Everybody's moving. And she said, I think it's important to be consistent. So who did I say, let's not be consistent to? Was the queen of consistency. So she said, go be consistent. So we'd already planned it. We were going to do it anyway. But so it was a perfect message at the perfect time when, we were doubting maybe should we. And it's so funny that not just in starting to run and learning a whole other thing, but it almost seems like anytime we start and complete something new, I think we learn way more things than we intend to when we go into it. And sometimes it's the hardest things that teach us the best lessons. And the people who shake our cups the most teach us the best lessons. And so thank you for inspiring us all year long. And it was definitely an inspiration watching you complete your goals. And in the process of all of it, you got a whole bunch of people running in the process. So you did what you didn't expect to do. That was cool too. So She also hosted a Couch to 5K and got a whole bunch of people out running. And so we've been able to do a whole lot of things that we didn't know this year was going to turn into. So I appreciate you and all your dedication and inspiration. Thank you so much for hopping on. And,
I think that it's important that we remember that when we do take a few minutes to take care of ourselves, we're actually giving other people permission to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so I absolutely had no interest in inspiring anyone else. I was just doing a run streak. And through that process, I know that I have girlfriends out there that are taking care of themselves in a better way than they were a year ago because I opened up a door. And so with each of you guys, as you spend a little time taking care of yourself and becoming a better human being for our planet, then you're giving other people the permission to take care of themselves and to be better human beings for our planet. And if enough people are doing that, then all of a sudden we're surrounded by these huge groups of people that are all just being better. So we're all just continuing to elevate ourselves. And it all starts with sometimes looking at someone else and saying, you know what, JoJo gave me permission. I saw her do this, so I can do it too. And so if Liddy can be that, or Annie can be that, or if I could be that person that gives somebody else permission to be better, like what a gift that is that you're giving to someone else.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, Liddy, do you want to, do you want me to unmute you and have a say? No? You don't want me to unmute you?
I just want to say that was incredible, Mona. And thank you, JoJo, for like partnering and just making this women empowerment. You know, Mona, the words that you used tonight, you know, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to take them to heart. And what occurred to me is that I am doing things for other people, but not necessarily, you know, what you were just talking about tonight is that if you're not the best you that you can be, then you can't really be the expression of who you really need to be for other people. And there's this saying that says, helping other people get what they want and you'll get what you want. And that's what occurred to me. And I looked at life like when I'm helping myself, I'm being selfish. And what I just heard you say is that you're becoming the gift that they want. And that's what the attraction is. So thank you, Mona. And thank you, JoJo. And love those words tonight.
Thank you. You know, we talk all the time about filling our cup. We never talked about what we filled it with. We just said, let's fill our cup with things that fill us up. So when we give to other people, we're always filling from a full space instead of an empty space. Because so much of us don't take any time for ourselves, don't take any time to self-care. And then we constantly are giving from an empty space. So we talk all the time about filling our cup and then filling everyone else from the overflow, right? So we fill everyone else from the saucer, not from the cup, because our cup is for us. It's the saucer that's for everyone else. So when we think about it that way, and then to just add the second level of what is flowing out of that cup. Is it good? Because maybe sometimes we're not filling our cup with such good things. Maybe we're filling our cup with some good things. So it's just a whole up level to the thought process. So I appreciated the post when I saw it and I shared it, and how many people responded on it and was like, oh my gosh, that is such a cool thought. It just adds all together, and here we are filling each other up, and that's the whole point.
And Mona, I love meeting you today and that hug and just having your family be here. It was like, how beautiful is your family, and that you have that love and compassion. It was just, you are solely in your soul and integrous. I love you.
Thank you. And yes, my family is amazing. So I spent last weekend with my sister in Florida she ran the Dopey, I ran the Goofy. And that's why JoJo doesn't know any of the names of any of the races, because they're all different races, depending on which races you choose to do. And last year, my brother Tomas ran it with us. And And yes, there's so much love in my family, and I know that we are so blessed as a family, and we just keep welcoming people into our family. And so we're big Hispanic people, and Annie, my little 5-foot blonde, blue-eyed friend, I said, welcome to our family. You fit right in. And she does, because we just open our arms and our hearts to anyone that wants to be in our family. So thank you for acknowledging my family and appreciating my family, because they just warm my whole heart up.
Yes.
Oh, and we so appreciate them and watching their journey and going from a space of, going to run together to become healthy together. And that's how it all started, is they went on that journey, and now they do these amazing marathons together. Some of them where I just go, oh my gosh, how do you run that long? But, we appreciate their inspiration, and their whole family is incredible. So, but we have such good things coming, and we have so much to share with everybody about what we're seeing. We've been talking so much about mindset and feeling and inside. We've been inside for the last few weeks and really building up our 2018 and our mindset and getting ourselves in a good space. And so we're moving into what's going to work. We're going to go back inside and really start talking about our body health and our organs and our immune systems and our enzymes and things that are really exciting that we know are coming. And so next week, we're moving back into some health topics that have to do more with our body and less with our mind and our heart, right? So it'll be interesting. But I don't know if you can hear my girls in the background who think they're whispering, but they're really not, because, girls, they're really not whispering. But it's okay. We love them. So, but thank you guys for being here. If you are not on the Facebook page, make sure that you join the Facebook page, Empowering Healthy Women. And we are here every Thursday, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And we will just blow a big kiss to Mona and Liddy and thank them for being here. And Amy. And Amy. We have 2 Amy's on here. That's Amy, and Liddy and Mona. All right, here we go. All righty. Big kisses, everybody. Have an amazing week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Joe.